Well, hello there and welcome back to this F1 2020 My Team Career Mode. Round 4 at Zandvoort. We return to this lovely little circuit for Season 2 with a little Minardi team. Not so little anymore. We are a solid midfield team. So, in the workstation, let's have a look at the weather briefly. Seems dry. Might be a little bit of rain out there in these two sessions, but the race is going to be nice and hot anyway. So, messages weekend preview there. Obviously, we've selected the softest compound, so we've only got one set of hard tyres that will carry into the race. Weather forecast, overcast in qualifying, sunny transitioning. You can see there's overcast conditions, but no sign of rain. We've got a high cash balance as well. That's fine. We'll be looking to upgrade one of the facilities to Spec 2 probably after this race, if not after the next one. Development update as well. The durability team seem pleased with the upgrades we've made over there. They're opening up some more advanced avenues of development. If you head on over to the R&D screen, you can take a look at the newly available upgrades. Nice indeed. So, rivalry then. Gasly failed to finish in the previous race. We've now overtaken him a little bit. Driver details. Average finish up to 12th. Average grid still in 16th. 43 points to our career. So, the R&D then. We know the durability in the powertrain department is, well, morale was lacking a little bit because we sort of bigged up the aerodynamic department in the interview with Will Buxton I did off camera back at the headquarters towards the end of the previous episode. That's basically to try and get these major upgrades through successfully at the first time of asking. We're now Spec 2, so you can see that originally we had these two upgrades left to do, but we've now also got upgrades for the internal combustion engine, the actual engine itself, the turbo durability, which we really do need, and we've also got level 3 now for the energy store and the electronics. So nice. No sign of gearbox there. I think it's just general. Oh, we've also got MGUH, I should say, and the MGUK as well. I'm not sure what the gearbox is. I think it's probably this one here. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, so we now have some more upgrades that we can do for the durability department. Now it's Spec 2. Still need to get it Spec 3 to unlock the 3 final upgrades that you can see here, but looking very nicely on that. R&D in progress, as I've already spoken about. We've got 2 major upgrades for the tertiary wing flaps and the rear wing upper flap. That'll be on the 14th of May at the first time of asking, hopefully, and that'll be between Spain and Azerbaijan, I believe. Progress history then, let's have a look. Nothing from Red Bull and Mercedes or Ferrari. Looks like Renault have had a little upgrade, pulled away from AlphaTauri. Nothing from McLaren. Racing Point have had a little upgrade. Nothing from Alfa Romeo, ourselves, or Williams. Haas have had a little upgrade as well, and they've caught back up to us. But I'm still confident that both ourselves and Nick De Vries are consistently quicker than the Haas cars. So yeah, we've made a little bit of inroad since the beginning of the season, I should say. A few other teams also having little upgrades here and there. So the power units then will make the change off of units number 2 to units number 1 for the 3 practice sessions. So we're all going to be running the dry, so I might just get things done in FP1 and FP2, save the gearbox for FP3. As for the gearbox, practice gearbox 13%. As I always say, once it hits 20%, I'll order a new one. Event gearbox halfway through its life cycle now, 19%. No worries there. Weekend tyre allocation, 2 sets of mediums, 4 sets of softs to use in the 3 practice sessions. So, talking about the practice sessions, I'm going to disappear now, do FP1 off camera. I'll give you an update once the session ends. So FP1 ends with Vettel with the fastest time, just a 10th and a little bit ahead of Hamilton. Bottas, Verstappen and Albon complete the top 5. And it's Sainz, Kvyat, Leclerc, Ricciardo and Perez all on the medium tyres. We scroll down to ourselves in P16, 1.801 off the pace from the best lap time of 1:13.738. Just 100th ahead of Kimi Raikkonen, nearly a couple of tenths clear of Grosjean. And then it's Nick De Vries on the hard tyres, Magnussen, Latifi and Russell. Scrappy practice session really. We managed to get the track acclimatisation, the tyre wear management and the fuel management all done in purple, which just leaves the race strategy, ERS and qualifying programs left to do in the next 2 sessions. We know it's going to be dry throughout the weekend, so that's fine. We've got plenty of time to attempt them. Whether we complete them or not remains to be seen. Yeah, I mean, Sector 1 I've seemed to have got nicely under control. Same for Sector 3 as well. But Sector 2, where there's a lot of directional changes and a couple of braking points that really need to be worked on. Certainly my line through some of the corners as well needs to be worked on. if we nail the perfect lap, I mean, sometimes coming into the final couple of corners we were 2 tenths up, so if we managed that, we'd have been a 16.1, which put us ahead of Ocon and Gasly. We are sort of just on the back of the true midfield pace. Giovinazzi up into 12th place in FP1. You could probably ignore that, really. That's a lucky lap, I feel. I think he'll be further back around about these guys once true pace comes in. So we're comfortably ahead, I think, really, of the Haas Williams and my teammate. But Alfa Romeo obviously might pose a bit of a threat. But we are just on the back of the true midfield, as I like to call it these days. And so we'll advance into FP2. We'll try and get everything else done as best as we can, and then maybe do a bit of tyre wear management going into FP3. The setup feels fine. It feels nice and balanced. I've got fairly high wings for a circuit like Zandvoort because of the amount of corners that we got in Sector 2 to try and help me. So I just need to sort myself out a little bit, get Sector 2 nailed, and I'm sure that we'll be able to improve as the practice sessions go on. But for FP1 at least, it's positive looking ahead to the race. So there we go, then FP2 ends. Hamilton, Bottas, Verstappen in the top 3. We ended up in 11th place. That would have been due to the qualifying practice program, which unfortunately we failed to do, and I won't be doing it again. We managed to do well, in the first session I said that we managed to do the track acclimatization, tyre management and fuel management all in purple. We didn't actually. The tyre management we managed to do in only green. So FP2 was getting that done in purple, and the ERS management one as well, also attempting the qualifying one, which we failed at. So going into FP3 we have one, possibly 2 sets, but definitely 1 set of soft tyres that are fresh. And we'll be doing the race strategy program on those, and also using those tyres to see how far we can realistically push a set of soft tyres in the race, because I think this could be a race where softs onto hards, possibly softs onto mediums, could be a viable strategy. We just have to see how it goes. So the practice time is a bit as my English fails me yet again. My practice time is a bit unrepresentable. That's the word I'm looking for. We were sort of around this mark here, around where Raikkonen and Grosjean was, which is still good. I mean, we're clear of all these guys back here on the mediums and the hards, and we were by about 3 or 4 tenths of a second. It's a very, very short lap here, so it doesn't matter too much if, you know, Ocon is 7 tenths slower than the hard tyres. That means he's probably going to be around our pace. But you can see there, for example, we're ahead of Russell, Raikkonen, Grosjean and Giovinazzi fairly comfortably on the soft tyres. And well, if we improve by 2 tenths, or even by a tenth, we're being right behind Kvyat and ahead of Gasly. So again, like China, we're sort of hanging on to the back of the AlphaTauri cars. But I'm quite happy with P11 in that session, but I'm more happy with the fact that we managed to get most of our practice programs done. We'll advance into FP3, we'll get the race strategy done, and then as soon as those 5 laps are done, we'll continue pounding round as hard and as fast as we can with the fuel that we've got left, to sort of gauge how much we can, or how long we can push these soft tyres for. So the end of FP3, we managed to do the race strategy program in purple. And then we basically rattled off the last few laps that we had with the fuel on board. Did 9 laps, including the out lap, and the tyre wear was 38% as the highest on the front left. It was 34 on the rear left, and in the very low 30s on the right hand side tyres. So, okay, I think we could probably do 10-11 laps in the race fairly comfortably on the soft tyres, make the change onto the hard tyres, maybe even the mediums. Excuse me, I've got the hiccups right now. So our lap time, our best lap time, was good enough for 14th place, so 1:13.039, 1.366 off the pace set by Albon, half a tenth quicker than Vettel. Hamilton, Leclerc, Perez inside the top 5, and completing the top 10 was Nick De Vries, who pulled a lap out of his arse somewhere to be within 8.5 tenths of Albon on the soft tyres. We were just behind, well, a couple of tenths actually behind Raikkonen, but we were just ahead of Gasly, Ricciardo, Latifi, Magnussen, Giovinazzi, Grosjean, Russell and Kvyat, who was hard testing in that session. So again, we're sort of comfortably in the midfield. We're sort of clear of the Williams, Haas and the Alfa Romeo of Giovinazzi. I'll be expecting Gasly and Ricciardo to be a bit quicker in qualifying, and hopefully we can be a bit closer to Raikkonen. But good to see Nick De Vries is continuing to improve. I have absolutely no issue, by the way, if Nick De Vries starts out qualifying and outscoring us in this season or the next, or however long we decide to keep him. We're pumping a lot of development behind him. Of course, all of the activities that we can do between races, if there's any opportunity to get Nick De Vries' stats up, we're doing it. And of course we still have spec free on the personnel department to come in as well, so Nick De Vries could be potentially one of the best drivers in F1 in the next couple of seasons. We just need to give him the car to show it. So we'll end FP3, we'll have a look at the resource points and everything else, make the change onto units number 2 for the all important qualifying session here at Zandvoort. So the resource points, we gained 600, 210 from Nick De Vries, 810 in total, 1219. Team acclaim 24% for me, 26 actually, we're just into level 13. Nick De Vries is close to level 11, and we're closing up now on being level 17. So back at the workstation, looking at the laptop before qualifying, the race is 36 laps, so it's going to be softs onto hards, I think. And I think that would be the same strategy for most people, maybe 2 stopping out there. It's a relatively short pit lane here, and you sort of come out on the exit of turn 1 as well. So yeah, but I think softs onto hards will be the strategy. We'll have to see what happens in qualifying and of course in the first few laps of the race. So message then about the Zandvoort circuit. You can see they're a very fast flowing circuit. I really do enjoy it, to be honest. It's difficult to hook up the ideal lap time, but it is a fun circuit nevertheless. So over to the power unit, so 31% now becomes 15, 28 to 14, 31 to 14, 26 to 11, 36 to 17, and 24 to 12. So sort of about halfway really, halfway in laps, halfway in rear. That seems fine. It will take probably another 3-4 races until these are level. And then we'll probably use a mix of units 1 and 2 going forward, and then move on to units 3 hopefully in the second half of the season. I think we will at some point have to take a grid penalty to order new units, but if we can do it at least once this season, then that's good. Gearbox then, practice gearbox now ends 16%, event gearbox 20%, and we're halfway through the 4th race weekend. So if that's going to be around about 26-27% by the time this is all done, as long as you get to the finish of both qualifying and the race, then the gearbox wear is very comfortable indeed. Had a couple of questions from Claire at the end of FP3. One of them enabled me to boost the aerodynamic department a little bit, so the build time decreased by 14%. Failure chance is now decreased by 7. That's all in case this all fails and we can get it done a little bit quicker. If it does pass, we'll probably, with the high morale modifier we've got in the aerodynamic department, might as well smash out the next major upgrade, which would be the streamlining of the suspension arms. We've got enough money for it already, and we can get the aerodynamic department up to a sort of a reasonable level. You can see if the 2 upgrades come in the next couple of weeks, it'll put us ahead of Haas. If we get another one done, it might very well put us ahead of Alfa Romeo as well. So everything is done. Let's go to qualifying and secure our spot on the grid for the race. So still within the first minute of the qualifying session, Vettel and Ricciardo are out nice and early. Good benchmarks for us. 4 sets of soft tyres. We'll use 3. We'll do 3 laps at Zandvoort. So we'll drain the fuel out. This is the setup then. I've gone very high on the wings. I started off I think 7-8, and then I've been bumping it up ever since then. In FP3 we were the fastest in sector 3, which is the final couple of corners, and then the long straight as well. Probably a bit of ERS was involved in that as well. Sector 1 and Sector 2 off the pace a little bit. So I've gone high wings here to try and help us around the slow to medium corners. Transmission 55-55. Suspension geometry to the right, to the left. Suspension 5-3, 6-5, 6-7. Brakes 154. Tyres, you can see there I've knocked it down a considerable amount on all 4 sides. I might actually, front left, I might drop it down a little bit more, because that was the chief culprit, if you like, from our tyre wear test, if you like, in FP3. So we'll see what happens there. So a few more cars now on circuit. We might as well join them out there. Park thermo regulations now into effect. A Renault of Ocon flies past us, and we'll come out of the pit box and straight off of the limiter. The pit lane line, I should say, to exit the pit lane is very, very close. You'll see it literally as I pull out here, and there it is. Back at Zandvoort again for the second time. Very short lap here. Not as short as Austria, but quite short. I'm trying to think 1 minute 11s will probably going to be the qualifying time. Trying to think of another circuit that does 1:11s. Austria is close, I know, with the 105s, 106s, sometimes 104s. We've got a Mercedes behind us. We'll jump out of Hamilton's way. This corner is unbelievable at full pelt. You go through there in 7th gear. This one here as well, it looks so tight, but 6th gear is as comfortable as you like. As I said in season 1, and I'll say again here as well, this is sort of a throwback race. The last time it had F1 cars around here, I think, was the 1980s. Not too much has changed, and it definitely does feel like the modern F1 car is sort of a bit too aggressive around here, if you like, a bit too fast around some of these corners. It's a fun circuit though, and I certainly do enjoy it. So we'll bump everything up, give it the beans out of this corner, onto the banked final corner, which is quite cool to be honest, not as much as the Indianapolis one. And here we go for our first time lapped. Across the line we come. We've just run out of DRS with nearly 5 tenths behind Kvyat, behind Ocon, but ahead of Russell as well. I lost a bit of time in the second to last corner for definite. So we'll have a slow tour back now.
There's only 1 lap of fuel remaining.
This corner I've managed to hook up nicely as well. And a couple of other corners as well, I feel quite comfortable around. We just need to find that perfect lap really. But it's a good banker, nevertheless. So just over 10.5 minutes remaining of the session. Nick De Vries is currently last as home event as well. Hopefully he can find a bit of time and improve. He was very slow in Sector 1, very quick in Sector 2. 21.6 is quicker than pretty much everyone on the bottom half of the table that you're looking at there. 18.4 in Sector 2 was a tenth quicker than us, but he was over a second slower than us in Sector 1. We're in 17th, as you can see. We're just under a tenth ahead of Raikkonen, about 3 tenths away from Giovinazzi. But like I said, my first lap, I did make a bit of an error in the second to final corner. I'm sure that we can probably get into the very low 1 minute 11 if we hook up the right lap. So the track is now starting to clear. We're on to the second set of soft tyres. So this is the perfect opportunity for us to get out again for our second run. Here we go then. Let's make it a good one. Oh, this is better. Just over 7 tenths up. We run out of ERS again. Oh, P11. Look at that. Get it up, yeah. Made 3 tenths up in the second to last corner. But the rest of the lap felt very good. I'm happy with that. P11. Get up there. Might have to push here a little bit actually. And we've got Mercedes right up my arse as well. So we'll be tactical. We'll let him through. Should have enough time. 16 seconds left. Yeah, we will have enough time. Right, here we go then. Our third and final run. Can we get inside the top 10? No, no, no. Fucking hell, come on. Where it mattered most, we've blown it. It's early on the brakes into turn 1, a lot earlier than I usually do. Well, a little bit earlier than I usually do. Put the power on too early, the car drags wide because it's tighter on exit, isn't it on entry, and I know that. Still fucked it up. Oh well, that's qualifying over for us. Already down to P13, as you can see on the left hand side. So Leclerc takes pole position, Vettel in second, Verstappen at his home race, the second Dutch driver, I should say, on the grid. Hamilton, Albon, Ricciardo in 6th, Norris, Stroll, Bottas down in 9th, Gasly completes the top 10. We ended in 13th, so it wasn't too bad for us. We only lost, I think, 1 position in that, so we've managed to out-qualify Kvyat. Nick De Vries has managed to find the fast lap that he was looking for. Lines up in 15th. 13th and 15th for Minardi at Zandvoort at this stage of Season 2 is very, very promising. And as you can hear, I've still got my hiccups. I apologise for that. So, after Nick De Vries, it's Perez, Magnussen, Giovinazzi, Raikkonen, Grosjean, Russell, Latifi. So, yeah, we've out-qualified both the Haas, Alfa Romeo and Williams cars. We've also managed to jump ahead of both Perez and Kvyat as well. Both Minardis comfortably into the proper midfield, which is what I sort of regard McLaren, Renault, AlphaTauri and Racing Point as. Bottas down in 9th though, he'll be a bit disappointed by that, but it looks like softs onto hards is going to be the strategy. That's definitely the way I'm going to go. I'm not going to start on the hards or mediums, it's going to be a bit silly, but P13 at Zandvoort, our qualifying is getting better and hopefully we can keep this good run of points going. So the rivalry breakdown, we both completed qualifying, but Gasly did out qualify me. So we're now 13 to 12. We're actually in this fight, and I didn't really expect us to be. Team McLaren, 26% for me, 20 for Nick De Vries, 46 combined for the team. We'll be very close to level 17 by the end of this race, and Nick De Vries will be very close to level 11 as well. So back at the workstation, don't know what it says, please wait in the top left hand corner. I'm probably going to, once I've done this little bit here, I'm probably going to close the game, open it back up again, because I don't need that in the top left hand corner for the duration of the race. But other than that, there's nothing else really to look at. So we'll go and have a look at the race build up, the grid formation as well, see if anyone has any penalties or we remain in P13, and then select the race strategy that we want for this race.
Welcome along then to the North Sea coast and Zandvoort, 25 miles away from Amsterdam and the host for today's Dutch Grand Prix. It's a race the great Jim Clark won on 4 occasions, leading for an astonishing total of 370 laps. A lap of this short 2.6 mile Zandvoort circuit features 14 corners, 10 to the right and 4 to the left. The main straight is 678 metres long and heads into turn 1, the Tarzan corner. With DRS down the main straight into the braking zone, that could be the best overtaking opportunity on the track. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Sebastian Vettel will start on pole. Fantastic qualifying from the multiple world champion, edging out Max Verstappen, who'll start from P2. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Hamilton, Albon, Daniel Ricciardo, and Stroll, Bottas, Gasly, Sainz, and Charles Leclerc. They've taken a grid penalty. Ocon, Lee, Nick De Vries, and Perez, Magnussen, Norris, Antonio Giovinazzi, and Kimi Raikkonen. Grosjean, Russell, Latifi, and Daniel Kvyat completes the grid. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out. Then let's see who can prevail today.
Okay, so we've been bumped up to P12. Leclerc has a 10-place grid penalty, so he's just in front of us. Norris and Kvyat have penalties as well. I think it was Norris that qualified in front of him. It was Norris that qualified in front of us. So we're up to P12. Race strategy, softs onto hards. Yeah, that's always going to be the way. We'll start with just 1 lap's worth of extra fuel, as we will be down doing during this season. Nothing else left to really do, really. Mediums onto hards is a second, nearly 2 seconds slower, but I'm confident we can do 12 laps on the soft tyres. So, get the formation lap underway. Nick De Vries is literally just behind us in P13. Burning away from the grid spot.
Coming off the practice start. Watch the RPM on the full start. We don't want to bog down.
So starting from P12, we're banging in the money in terms of midfield pace. A cheeky safety car around the time we need to pit could help us a little bit. I think pretty much everyone out there is going to be on the soft tyres. Certainly the people around me, the top 10 of course, will be on the soft tyres, a used set of soft tyres, so they might have to pit a lap or 2 earlier than us. And they may have to go to a 2-stop strategy, but we saw last season that the hard tyres can go quite far here. And that's exactly what we're going to try and do at least. Softs onto hards, as I said before, is going to be the ideal strategy for the race, and that was the one that was selected for us as the ideal strategy. Let's not spin on the formation lap by running wide. Going to be difficult to overtake around here. Turn 1 is a possibility, and also down here as well into this heavy braking zone for turn whatever the fuck it is. To be honest with you, I don't know. 10, I think, or 11, one of the two. But it's going to be difficult to do. It could very much be a case of follow the car in front and see how this race develops, I should say. Objectives, of course, number 1 to finish, number 2 to try and score some points. I think we've got a good opportunity starting from P12. We fluffed our third and final qualifying run. So yeah, we're I wouldn't say in the money seat here, but we've certainly got an opportunity to jump ourselves inside the top 10, and we finished in the top 10 in all 3 of the first races. It'd be nice to keep that going.
The rest of the grid is forming up. Be patient and watch for the lights.
Right, they're all on the spot. Here we go. Got blocked by Ocon there into turn 1. Nick De Vries is being a hero here. And if we got any damage early on, we don't. We've lost a couple of positions. That's not great. Nick De Vries had a good start. He's up to P11 as far as I can see ahead of us. Go on, son, get a point in your home race.
Okay, the start was fine. Let's try and move forward.
First gets past Ocon. No way through for me. In the blink of an eye, just like Austria. We complete lap 1. P14. We can still do some work from here. It's going to be difficult though. Seems that everyone's on the same strategy. Ending lap 2, just like that. DRS is now being enabled along the main straight and along that little back straight as well. Let's just try and stick with these guys in front of us as best as we can. We've got Sainz, De Vries and Perez in 10th, 11th to 12th. We're just a little bit further back in 13th. And then we've got Ocon, Giovinazzi and everyone else a little bit of time back behind us as well. Very twitchy the car feels on the high fuel load. I'll lose a bit of speed here, but then gain it back in the next couple of corners. So so far it's just a case of just maintain track position. Oh, yellow flag, smoke. The rest is blown up right in front of us.
Okay, some information on Perez. They're retiring from the race. Check your MFD for a new strategy
safety
option.
car.
Safety car deployed. The safety car has been deployed. Watch your delta. Make sure you keep it positive as we catch the pack. Confirmed.
Interesting one. Oh, let's not fall off the road.
Right, come in at the end
Right.
of this lap.
Got all that sorted out. Hard tyres.
Nick is coming in for his stop.
Nick's in as well. We're going to lose a bit of time here. But yeah, it's got to be a hard tyres. Absolutely has to be. Ooh, a lot of people ahead of us. going on to the softs. Ah, we're going to be held up a little bit. Come on, guys. Come on, come on, come on, come on.
Go. Exit now. We're racing on the exit. Exit.
Oh, don't cross the white line. Oh, there's a mix of everything out of there then. Some have gone for mediums. I think most have gone for softs. They're going to do a two-stop here. So coming to lap 10 then, Magnussen has stopped. And he's out ahead of us on the medium tyres. Sainz leads this race. He didn't stop off of his medium tyres. And Raikkonen is up inside the top 10, I think in P6 or something like that. Also, he didn't stop. Everyone else that is ahead of us and behind us as well stopped for the soft tyres. So this is going to be quite crucial. We need to basically hold position here. We're at a massive disadvantage. We're on the hard tyres compared to the softs. Could work in our favour. Okay, safety car's in this lap. So Sainz leads. He's still on the hard tyres that he started on. We've got, I think, an Alfa Romeo comfortably inside the top 10 on the mediums they started on. Everyone that did pit, including us, has gone for the soft tyres, apart from us, as we've gone for the hards. I don't know, there's a part of me that just thinks that maybe we've made the wrong call here. We'll just have to see how this race develops. Magnussen ahead on the mediums. He's stopped alongside us as well. We're on the hards. Everyone else that did stop is on the softs. We're going to hang around the outside here. I don't know if it's going to work. Might be able to get a position back from Ocon.
Let's use overtake and burn some of this energy.
Side by side with the Renault driver. We're losing positions already. Everyone's on a fresh set of softs. We're on the hards. We could slip to the back here. We don't need to stop again, but I think that the pace deficit that we've got on these hard tyres means that most of these guys on the softs are going to be able to pit and rejoin either in front of us or just around us, and then, you know, basically we've got to carry on trying to defend on the hard tyres. I think this time, unfortunately, and I think it's for the first time really, that we've benefited from a safety car, but it isn't actually going to work out in our favour. Ideally what I want is another safety car, really. It's coming into lap 16. I spent my last few laps just trying to find a bit of pace and a bit of consistency as well. We seem to be locked into this P17 at the moment. There's a handful of cars just only slightly up the road that we are sort of keeping pace with. The issue we got though is, of course, they'll be in sooner rather than later, changing off them soft tyres, and they will join quite a way behind us. But obviously we're running these hards to the end, so they are pretty much going to be quicker than us throughout. It just depends really how many positions we can gain once the other guys make their second stop. See if we're in the points and see if we can hold on to it. It's going to be a difficult challenge, yes, though. Just coming across start lap 18, the Alfa Romeo of Raikkonen has been in the pits. Made his final change onto the tyre, so we're up to 16th now. Keeping pace and DRS with Russell, who's not exactly a million miles away from the likes of those in 15th, 14th and 13th as well. Or 14th, 13th, 12th I should say. But some of the guys at the front are starting to disappear. It's going to be a real ask here to score points.
Nick is coming in for his stop.
Going to lap 20, Nick De Vries and a couple of others are now in the pits. I think a Ferrari's been in as well and has rejoined just ahead of us there. So if we are going to be in the top 10, it's going to be the lower part of the top 10. All we can do really is just keep pushing and see where we end up. So Russell pits, as does Giovinazzi. That frees us up. Leaves us in a bit of clear air, up to P9, P8 past Hamilton. But a lot of these guys now obviously onto their second stop. going on to a set of medium tyres. We're running a used set of hards. So we now move up the order, and I'm sure sooner rather than later we'll be moving back down. So here comes Hamilton then. Flashes past us. More people in the pits. So it's P6 at the moment, a net P6, but you can see there behind me I've got McLaren's, Racing Points, Ferraris. This is going to be difficult.
We're leading our teammate by 4.7 seconds.
He's busy in turn 1. Defended the inside, but both Leclerc and Sainz have managed to get past me. And we just tagged the back of Sainz wheel and picked up a bit of wing damage there. This is now slowly starting to fall apart for us a little bit. You can see there the front left is now we are really struggling now with downforce. It's fallen apart. That's such a shame.
Okay, copy that.
There we go then, we'll make a change on to what I hope will be a fresh set of soft tyres for the last 12 laps of this race. We'll be at the back. You never know, maybe we can charge through and try and overtake a few people. We've got Verstappen now on my outside. Oh wow, really mate? It was Albon. I don't want to hold Nick De Vries up. Okay, we're in now. Change your front wing, yes. Right. We're going to come out last, I think. See what happens from here. Oh, Barton's just retired. Oh, and a safety car! Wow! We've just come out of the pits on a fresh set of soft tyres. And the safety car comes out for Raikkonen's retirement. Oh, this has brought us back into the picture a little bit. Maybe not for points, because unfortunately everyone has literally just made their second stop. But everyone ahead of us is going to be on mediums, I think. Mediums and hards. And we're on softs. So, yeah, okay. Right, we could have a bit of fun here. Right, we're going to pit again. Tells me that I've got another fresh set of soft tyres. So hopefully we don't get stung by the safety car here. Right, we're coming in. Hopefully it's another fresh set of soft tyres. We'll try to catch back up to a safety car queue. I really hope it isn't in at the end of this lap.
Go, go, go.
Okay, it's a slightly worn set, but it saves us an extra lap at least, so we're straight back out. We'll push now to try and catch back up. We should be able to, actually. Fairly comfortably. So we'll take it a little easier. Saving fuel. I hope we are anyway. Oh, let me bring the right graph up. We are. And we could have a fun 7 or 8 laps here before the end of the race. Try and gain a few positions back so we don't finish last. Yeah, I will catch safety car queue. That's fine. Okay then, so points, I don't think it's going to happen. Let's be realistic here, but we can have a bit of fun anyway. Trying to push our way through.
Green flag.
Okay, here we go. Green flag racing. 9 laps to go. How many positions can we gain? We'll hang it right around the outside here. We've got to be careful. We're going to have a superior tyre advantage. Oh, yeah. It's like being on a go-kart track. Around the outside again. Find the grip. Punch EOS.
Just over 10 minutes time.
Rain as well. Oh, 10 minutes, that'll be fine. Race will be over by then. Okay, next target's Magnussen. sling it out the inside. This is fun. P15. Oh, side by side with Kvyat. And now with Ocon. I love it when it's like this. I have the superior advantage. And Ocon's giving me a bit of a love tap there. I don't really appreciate it. They're up to P13. The opportunity for points isn't exactly out of the realms of possibility here, but we have to be super aggressive. And there's Nick De Vries just ahead of us as well. Around the outside again, like we've done so many times before. And we see off De Vries. Next target is Albon, unbelievably, for a point. Okay, let's come around then the last couple of corners. We've got enough fuel really to run rich mix to the end of the race. So that's exactly what we're going to be doing. Low on ERS, so that is the issue. Oh, this is going to be sneaky. Still there. No, he's still there, but we've got the inside line. Oh, no, 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 no. Damage. That might just kill our charge to, well, not the front, but more positions. Oh, the understeer, the understeer. No, no, no.
Okay, take it easy on the car. We can't sustain this level of
And we got our braking all wrong. Right in front of De Vries as well. It was looking like he might be an opportunity for a point. Oh, I can't believe I've done that. Two laps to go. We're using absolutely everything we can. There's still half a chance here.
2 laps of fuel remaining.
Come on. Give us half a chance. This is the best corner for it seems. Hang it around the outside. And we've done it. We're back in P10. Through the banked final corner then, still getting DRS, using all of the ERS that's available to us into the final lap.
Final lap of the race.
Can we hang on to P10, keep our point streak alive? I don't think I can do anything about the guys in front of me. It's all about defending from the people behind. This has been a pretty nutty last 10 laps of the race. Bit of inside curve there, unsettles the car a little bit. Definitely feel the understeer on the left hand side when we're going through the right hand corners.
We don't think it's going to stay dry for much longer. The rain could come at any moment. Watch out.
Oh, it's another love tap to the back of Gasly. I think we got away with no damage though. And now it's a sprint to the line really after these final 2 corners. With ERS it now, we are going to do it. I don't think we'll get Gasly, but we are going to get a P10. That's incredible. Oh, we're out of fuel. Oh, just done it.
That's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
Oh my god, that was an intense final, well, 10 laps, if you like. We pitted for all the soft tyres. Safety car, soft tyres again, which gave us an extra lap, saved a load of fuel in ERS. We was out of fuel and ERS coming up to the line. I didn't pay attention to my fuel coming out the final couple of corners. trying desperately as I could to stay ahead of Albon, but we did it with P10. We did it, 3 pit stops, and we came from the back of the field, P20 to P10 in the last 8 laps, which was just a madness, really. Simple as that. But Vettel was won, just half a second ahead of Verstappen at his home race. Ricciardo scores his first podium of the season, and Renault's first points of the season as well, with third. Well done from him. Hamilton, Leclerc, Bottas with the fastest lap in 6, and it's Stroll. Sainz on the one-stop strategy improves from 9th to 8th. Gasly, and then ourselves keeping our point streak going with a well-earned and hard-fought P10, just beating Albon to the line. Nick De Vries, his home race as well, was in P12. So a good solid weekend for Minardi overall, comfortably in the midfield. And it's Norris, Ocon, Kvyat, Magnussen, Russell, Giovinazzi, Grosjean and Latifi. Raikkonen and Perez were the 2 retirements. So in the standings then, 4 races done, 16 to go, a quarter of his season already done. Vettel takes lead of the championship, 6 points ahead of Bottas. Verstappen in 3rd, Hamilton back in 4th place with a lot to do. Leclerc and Stroll up into 6th ahead of Perez. Ricciardo jumps all the way into 8th, pushing us down to 9th, but comfortably inside the top 10. Other drivers and yet to score. Let's have a look. Giovinazzi, both the Haas and both the Williams cars. So the constructors, Mercedes lead 9 points ahead of Ferrari. Red Bull quite a bit of a way back in 3rd actually. Racing Point now into 4th. Renault jump up into 5th ahead of a host of teams after scoring their first points for the season. We move down to 6th, even though we are still now 1 point ahead of AlphaTauri and 2 points ahead of McLaren. So very close there between ourselves, AlphaTauri and McLaren. I'm expecting us to be 8th, to be honest, by the end of this season. Alfa Romeo in 9th on 6th, and like I said, Haas and Williams still yet to score. So the rivalry breakdown 2-4 against Gasly, who did just finish ahead of us. So he now retakes the lead of the rivalry, 16-15, 2 weekends to go. So we're still very much in this. Team McLaren 26% for me, 20 for Nick De Vries, 46 combined for the team. It does take us just about into level 17. And finally, the cash for the weekend. We completed all 3 of our secondary sponsors, which is good. And we made 50 grand in total there as well. So 11.85 to 13.04, just over $1 million profit. So we've only got a couple of days then until the Spanish Grand Prix. We might be able to fit a activity in there. So we've got the weight training, which improves Nick De Vries' stats by 2. Driver promotion, filming, chassis team building, sponsor event. It's got to be weight training. We always look to improve on Nick De Vries. So the facilities then, we could probably do a little bit of work over here. R&D, we know that we've got a couple of major upgrades potentially in the pipeline for the aerodynamic department. We do have 1500 resource points, but I might just save those. Cancel development. No, I wouldn't want to do that. 1175. We might need to get these redone if they do fail. As for other upgrades as well, we look up here for the durability department. We don't even have enough. Oh my god! To do this, we need 1,750 just to do this. Is it the same for down here as well? 1,250. Oh, okay, right. So once it goes up to a different spec, it does cost a hell of a lot more. That is to be expected. Can we do everything over here? Not really. I want to kind of save the resource points. We could do a cheeky minor upgrade that will arrive between Spain and Azerbaijan on the 19th of May. R&D in progress 14th of May. I think we'll just wait to see what the aerodynamic thing is going to do for us. So vehicle then, these are the units. I'll obviously touch base on these going into the next episode. Event gearbox 4 of 6 now completed, 25%, that's fine. Corporate side of things, contracts, Zaneto will end after this weekend. Answer at least 2 interview questions during the race weekend. That last weekend we did 10 interview questions, so I'll probably again sign with, I'll just keep these sponsors rolling because they offer quite a bit of money and they're fairly easily achievable. You can see there our TriStar sponsor, our primary sponsor, nearly $12.5 million now as our goal bonus. Contracts Nick De Vries, we know it's going to be ending very soon, but he's an 83 rated. We'll definitely be keeping him on. I mean, he's even better than Albon at this point, which is quite scary. We'll compare the stats, so obviously Albon's experience is going to be a lot higher. his racecraft is a little bit higher as well. Awareness is down though. Nick De Vries really does have a really good awareness stat, and we're getting his pace up as well. Other than that, there's nothing else really to look at. So we'll just advance the time then, get the weight training done for Nick De Vries. And there we go. So if we come back to the corporate side of things, contracts, you can see there his pace stat is now by 12. Still an 83 rated driver, but that's fine. It doesn't show any other improvements for some of these guys. Who's 61? Oh, 61 for Leclerc. Fair enough. He's only in his third season. Yeah, so his stats have gone up quite nicely compared to everyone else. You can see there for the season at least, it's gone up by 10. Pace stat now by 12, 83 rated, 5.02 million is his market value. We have to bear that in mind once we reach the middle part of the season. There's nothing else really to talk about. Tyre allocation will be that one now. Yeah, so against all odds, we've managed to come and finish P10 at Zandvoort. I thought with the first safety car we did make the wrong strategy call. Yeah, I think going onto the hard tyres, I mean, it got us up, I think, momentarily to something like, I think it was 6th place or something like that, but it would have been so hard to keep everyone behind us and keep it clean. Picked up a bit of damage, decided to pit, we joined at the back, and then as soon as I came out into pit lane, Raikkonen retired, safety car, Bosch, straight back in for a set of soft tyres. That gave us the scope to push in the back up towards the top 10, and we managed, even with a damaged wing, to get back inside the top 10 and just about, with no fuel coming over the line, hold off Albon to keep our point streak going for this season. 4 races done in season 2, 4 times inside the top 10. I'm hoping to keep it going for round 5. So thank you very much for watching this episode, and I'll see you all for the next one.